My name is Jason Frenkel. I am an architect. This is the site of our project for the design Indaba, and basically what we're going to be doing is installing theatre-like seating along this line over here, which will engage with the youth center and resource center and dance center that Local Studio has designed across the street over there.
I'm an architect with my partner Emma. She's a graphic designer. We form a studio called Local Studio.
Basically we chose the location specifically because of the mix of what's happening on the street here, as well as what's going to be happening in terms of the Lutheran church across the street. So there's a really interesting possibility for an engagement between the public and the private here. So we're standing on the site of the Lutheran church in Hillbrow, and this is just opposite the site where we're going to be implementing the design Indaba.
The primary component of our building up here on the Lutheran site is a dance studio. It's a big 150 square meter dance studio that's going to play host to some really exciting rehearsal stuff that happens at the Hillbrow Theatre around African dance. And the dream is that the rehearsal becomes a performance that's primarily visible from the street across the road.
One of the things that is part of this site is the Hillbrow Theatre. And obviously there are going to be a lot of people who are, by the nature of the fact that you need to pay to enter, who are going to be excluded from that. And so this is a means of bringing the theatre to people who don't need to pay anything for that, and I think that there's immense value in that. And so it's about kind of creating those relationships between the building, which is private, and the street, which is more public.
We wanted to create a relationship, a material relationship between our intervention here and the intervention across the road. The building here is going to be made primarily out of light steel, so that was our starting point. I think the challenge here is that a lot of anything that's remotely kind of movable gets stolen immediately and recycled, and mainly steel objects. So having said that, we've still reached a conclusion that our intervention will be made out of welded sheet metal with a concrete seat.
Joburg as a city is generally designed for specific groups of people, and those groups of people are generally segregated in a sense. And so the idea of kind of creating bridges between different types of people, whereby the person who's using the street on foot can in a sense interact with someone who's behind bars in private property, and I think that it's something that in terms of just the fabric of the city, that we need to start designing things that can be used and appreciated by all, rather than looking at things that are designed or appreciated for a specific type of person.
I think Jason said it very well. Even though we're in Hillbrow, and even though we are kind of responding to a project that will cater for a certain tier of society, which is essentially underprivileged, what we must remember is that, especially in a place like this, you have many more underprivileged people beneath that. So a lot of homeless people, for example, occupy the street outside, and it would be really nice to work with them and do something for them. A big thanks to Design Indaba for actually allowing us to intervene in the public realm.
It means yet another means of engaging with the city. You know, and I think that all of us do that in different ways, from low-cost housing projects to schools, to private developments, and there are many different ways of engaging with the city. But for me, I tend to find that it's primarily in the private realm, and even where there's government housing, it's still kind of creating pockets of privacy in the city. And this is a means of engaging with the public realm, really engaging with the streets.